Here are 3 styles of thumbnails that most YouTubers use. Number 1, we have the face plus context. Number 2, we have what I like to call the evidence. Number 3, the cinematic. I have spent time analyzing many YouTube thumbnails and have managed to categorize most thumbnails into one of these 3 categories. In this video, I'll break down each category, when to use each style, and the elements you can include in each one. At the end of the video, we'll go to my YouTube homepage where we'll look at random YouTube thumbnails and analyze it together so we can consolidate all the information we just learned. Let's start off with the face plus context style of thumbnail. So this is the bread and butter of most YouTube thumbnails, right? Occasionally, it can be object plus context as opposed to face plus context, especially when you talk about something like a camera or a phone, as you can see here in MKBHD's video. Usually, if there's a face, the face shows some sort of emotion. It's not completely emotionless, unless you're talking about stoicism or something like that. Here, I'm somewhat smiling. Mr. Beast smiling in this video. Alex Ramosi, serious. We're talking about money. Business. Alright, so the face is often on the right-hand side of the thumbnail, and there's a reason for that, especially if there's text in the thumbnail. The reason for this is because usually there's some elements on the right-hand side. As you can see here, there's the time duration of the video. There's sometimes something here. So when we make thumbnails with texts in it, we don't want these elements to obscure the text. So we usually put the text on the left and the face on the right. So if you notice that pattern, that's why. Now, where we cut off the thumbnail, it can depend on personal preference. Some people like to cut it off at the waist. Some people go higher up to here, which is what I did in this thumbnail, Mr. Beast and Alex Ramosi, or somewhat here. And in terms of what to add for context, it can be logos, but ultimately anything that helps the viewer understand the context quickly. So Alex Ramosi put money as the background here so we can instantly recognize, oh, it's about money. Here, Mr. Beast, oh, it's instantly about the Squid Games. I don't even have to read the title. Here, logos, TikTok, very simple, very quick. Apple logo, boom, very simple. I understand the context very quickly. Now, it can be both educational or entertaining in terms of the style of video. So Mr. Beast, this is obviously an entertainment video. This is educational. I'd call this educational. And if you want to add words, usually there's only 2 to 3 words in the thumbnail. When you have too many words, it takes too much time for the viewer to understand what the video is about. It takes away from the thumbnail as opposed to add to it. So usually what most people say is 2 to 3 words. So 2 words here, I use script here. Sometimes you don't even need words, but if you do have words, make it around 2 to 3. Now, let's move on to the evidence thumbnail. Now, the evidence thumbnail, you either want to have proof that you've accomplished what you promised in your title, or a trailer showing what the video is going to be about. So, let's look at some of these examples, right? So, here, this is an editing tutorial that I made about how I create one-word captions on CapCut. So here, I have evidence, proof that I've managed to make these one-word captions. So that's proof. Here, this creator, Tava Kessler, I wanted to learn how to highlight text in Final Cut Pro, and I searched it up on YouTube and I got this video and I watched it and it was really, really good. But the reason I clicked was because it showed that he highlighted text here. Not sure if he used Final Cut Pro or not, but it says so in the title and he managed to pull it off here. So I trust Tava Kessler, so I'll click on it and I'll watch it and it was good. So there's proof, and that was the reason for me to click, and I watched it as a result. Here, okay, something I want to know about this video, very clever by Jeremy Ethier. He's not just doing the evidence thing because, you know, he's shredded obviously and jacked. He's also doing the face plus context style, just a bit lower because he needed to show his abs, but from the waist up he's showing his face. Maybe he's not his mouth, his phone's covering it, but the face plus context style. But as well as the face plus context style, he's giving us evidence, proof that he's accomplished what he's promising, because he doesn't have much fat on him, very shredded. And also he's giving us a trailer as to what the video is going to be about. Hopefully we'll learn how to make these foods right here. This looks like pancakes. I was just admiring the bananas and the pancakes. But he's giving us proof that he's accomplished what he's promising, a trailer as to what foods we can expect to be making by watching the video, and also the face plus context style. So amazing video here in terms of thumbnail, like an amazing thumbnail to introduce the video. I haven't watched the video. I don't know how good it is. And here it's giving us proof, or showing us that we're going to make something like this transforming ninja star. Shout out to Rob's World, one of the OG YouTubers. I learned how to solve a Rubik's Cube faster thanks to Rob. Shout out Rob. All right. Usually it's educational. Oh my goodness. It keeps suddenly going left. Usually this evidence style is educational. As you can see, educational. But sometimes there are entertaining videos with this style. And usually the entertaining videos are the ones that show a little bit of the trailer of what you can expect to see in the video. For example, like, those football highlight videos with the fake Photoshop things in it. I'm not sure if you know what I'm talking about, but often it kind of shows you what you can expect to see in the video, although it doesn't always fulfill their promise. But anyways, it can be both educational or entertaining, but usually it's educational. And if you want to have words, again, 2 to 3 words. So two words, 3 words, 3 words, 3 words. A bit more context here. All right, so that's the evidence one. Lastly, the cinematic one. Now, the cinematic one, often it signifies that the video is of a high production quality, like film level quality. So a lot of YouTubers, like The Life of Reza, who's more she does art and using YouTube as a platform to share her art. All her thumbnails are cinematic, I think. So if you want to get inspiration, check it out. This is my one. I tried to make a series of videos documenting my creative process, sharing my emotional journey during the content creation process and the mindsets and all that. Anyways, it's a cinematic shot showing that it's more of a cinematic video. And I want to touch on this Chris Heria video, this thumbnail, really quickly. So this thumbnail, it's cinematic, you could argue, but also, if you notice, he uses evidence. He's visibly muscular. Also, there's a YouTube plaque in the back. But also, this looks like it's at home. So we can expect to see a home workout. It's a trailer for what the video is going to be. And also, you could argue this is also face plus context. So overall, this is using all 3 techniques. So well done, Chris Heria, for this thumbnail. And my point with the Chris Heria thing was that it can be used in conjunction with the evidence style of thumbnail. It doesn't have to just be cinematic and that's it. It can be cinematic with evidence, cinematic with a face plus context. And then this style of content, this style of thumbnail is popping up on my For You page, not For You page, like homepage quite frequently these days. And it's like 3 individual cinematic shots all compiled into one thumbnail with some text in the middle. It's all dark, so there's some contrast. Contrast is another thing you might want to consider when making thumbnails. But the split type of thumbnail is quite popular, so you might want to play around with that as well. But I'd put that under the cinematic category. Usually it's entertaining or inspirational content you'd see here. So this is, inspirational. This is educational though, however, so you can make it educational as well. But usually it's entertaining or inspirational. Unless it's like a filmmaking tutorial, then it makes sense for it to be this style as well. And also you might want to have 2 to 3 words. For example, 3 words. This one had more than 3 words, but it's like a phrase, so it works out as well. And it got 517,000 views, can't complain. So those are the 3 types of YouTube thumbnails that generally perform well on YouTube. And I'll go to my YouTube homepage right now. And I just want to show you that pretty much every thumbnail uses this or a combination of these formats, right? So here we have this guy. I don't know who he is. But we got the face plus context thing going on. Just the waist up shot. And then as we can see, he looks rich because his money's on how to make millions of dollars, or how he makes millions of dollars. He looks rich, so that's evidence. And he looks like he's in Bali as well. I haven't been to Bali. Here, face plus context and evidence as well, because he's showing us how much he has made on his TikTok, I think. Yeah. Here we have the motivational thing again. Why not you? Face plus, this is just what you can expect to see in the video. Didn't get too many views, so we'll leave that. This is stereotypical podcast thumbnail. Face plus context again. This is evidence. We have evidence that he went from 43 views to 107,000. Cinematic, face plus context, cinematic, I'd argue. This is like evidence, also kind of cinematic. Face plus context, face plus context, face plus context, face plus context, I'd argue. Face plus context, cinematic, Ali Abdal, face plus context, object plus context, Iman Geji, face plus context. I hope you can notice that it's very easy to categorize thumbnails using this model. Now, if you want to learn how I make these YouTube thumbnails using a free website called Canva, which is super easy to use, super efficient, I made a tutorial where I shared how I made this face plus context thumbnail, this evidence thumbnail, and this cinematic thumbnail. You can check that video out here. My name is Junius. I help people make and strategize educational content, and I have playlists helping you with exactly that. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.